It's our last show of the year, so time to celebrate. Gay Weekly Roundtable starts now.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
A part of me, a small part of me, wants this to just play out, and we and then 3 minutes later we come in speaking.
No.
But one of us doesn't want that to happen, and we'll reveal that in a second. So I'm going to start. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gay Weekly Roundtable. We are your hosts. I'm Adam Salandra. You can find me on social media at Adam Salandra.
Hi, y'all. I am Tony Moore, and you can find me on all social media platforms at Lounging with Tony or my website, loungingwithtony.com.
I'm Yael Tygiel. I'm the Grinch, and you can find me at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. Also, I'm live in the chat, so if you are in the chat with us, happy holidays.
At the Grinch.
Yeah, right.
And I am Blake McIver, and you can find me across the social media platforms at Blake McIver.
Now, I was going to play Guess the Grinch, but she outed herself, folks.
Totally outed
What I
herself.
do.
Have Scrooge McDuck in the... Now, why? Just take us into your world for a second. We'll start with the negative.
All right, so the holidays are, for me, the worst time of year.
Okay.
Right? You know how, like, you all feel that family and that magic and the Christmas spirit?
Sure.
I don't feel that. I feel solitude rubbed in my face.
Totally. Now, this actually... not planned, but a very important thing I think to discuss, because that is what Christmas is like everyone family,
Yeah.
but there are so many people who obviously they don't have that experience.
Mm-hmm.
And to make it more of an LGBT related situation, so many kids are like, I actually don't want to be with my family.
Right.
And that I say, find family and your friends when you're young and you have to be with them, great, but if you can like move out of town and then just have your own family or
Friendmas.
Exactly.
A friend
Build a
miss.
family with your friends. Start
Yes.
a friend mess. I highly recommend it.
Friendmas, Friendica.
But you have big plans for Christmas, so you're okay,
Oh,
right?
yeah. No, the Dr. Who Christmas special.
So
And
you're fine.
Indian
You're
food.
fine.
I'm
Very
in.
important.
Now,
Yeah.
are you full Jewish? Fully
Oh,
Jewish?
yeah.
Okay, because I'm half.
Which
that's why
half?
I don't think normal people ask if you're full, but my mom's side, which makes me full Jew.
Full Jew, yeah. But you guys celebrate Christmas.
We celebrate Christmas,
Yeah, I know.
So, but the reason I asked was, Hanukkah falls into this. Like you're saying, holidays all all over.
So things that a lot of people don't realize is that Hanukkah is not an important holiday. It is one of the least important holidays.
In
right?
Judaism.
In Judaism, our important holidays, like really important, are Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, which is the New Year and the Day of Atonement. Like those are important. And this is not. And it's also, in the States, it's a gift-giving holiday because, well, Christmas. It's not traditionally a gift-giving holiday. I was dating someone in Israel, and I brought gifts for kids, and they laughed at me and called me Santa the entire time.
Oh.
That's so funny.
Because, they're kids. I was like, you give them
Sure.
gifts, they're kids. No.
And I'm sure the kids were fine with it.
Yeah, the kids didn't care.
Yeah,
It was
they
the
were
adults
happy.
that were like, what's
So it's like
wrong
almost
with you?
competing with
wow.
Christmas. Oh, it is.
Well, it
competing with
totally is.
Christmas.
I was at Bed Bath & Beyonce the other day.
Great.
And I walked by the holiday rack, and I saw the Elf on the Shelf, and sitting next to the Elf on the Shelf was the Mensch on the bench.
No.
Which is
Way.
And I felt like that's offensive, right? Like
Well,
that's like
Mensch on the bench?
Mensch on the bench.
Isn't that like that's like a
So, no. It
religious appropriation? Yes? No?
can't
Maybe.
believe it.
It
I mean, I
was-
can't comment. I'm not Jewish.
It was created to counter
Elf?
on the Shelf, which both of those are creepy ideas to me.
Completely.
That elf is creepy. I didn't
Yeah.
see the Mensch.
That
but-
elf.
The Mensch is, if you've seen Gilmore Girls, the dancing rabbi is actually Mensch on
Oh,
a bench.
funny. I haven't,
Well-
but I'll be looking and I'll be purchasing.
I feel like the Elf on the Shelf just is, a part of the magic of Christmas.
Is that
Okay.
newer?
Don't you dare laugh at me.
Sorry.
It is. I think it is new because I didn't have it when I was growing up.
In the
Yeah,
past
no.
5 or 6 years, but
Yeah.
now it's everywhere.
But I think it keeps that, like when I was younger, I believed in Santa Claus and it was, a big thing for me. So now I feel like with the Elf on the Shelf, it kind of keeps that magic for like little kids that like, you need to behave because the elf is watching, and if you're not
shouldn't
behaving,
you
then
teach your child just to behave, period?
but it's like a game, it's like a
Well,
It's something fun.
Sort of. Oh, that's actually another topic that goes deep into religion that I don't want to get into right now. But I did want to ask: didn't you stop believing around age 13?
I did.
So you needed something.
I was a very late bloomer when it came to
because you have
finding
so
out
much
that Santa
spirit
wasn't
inside
real.
you. I think that's beautiful.
Well, I like Christmas, and not for like the the gifts and everything like that, but there's just something about the holidays that it seems very loving, and people coming together, and
Totally.
So
and
like
all that.
that's the feeling that I don't feel.
Right.
And like that's why I hate this season so much, is because I see that and I go, why don't I feel any of that?
Sure.
So it's like pressure.
Because you're a mean
manufactured.
one.
Well, so I really liked How the Grinch Stole Christmas until he gave it back. I was like, what is this crap?
You were like relating. No, another Christmas movie ruined by
Yeah.
joy and happiness.
Yeah. What
well.
Christmas movies do you guys love?
I'll tell you mine is also for a long, maybe
You want to say a sentence?
pulling it
there?
in.
There are so many thoughts going on in his head
So
that
many.
he can't pick which one
I
to
used
like
to
put in
be
the
like
lane.
when people would think of Christmas, they would think of me. I was that into it,
Yeah.
and now I feel in a different way. But like you, just that I'm like, oh, it's become an adult thing, and there's this pressure, and I don't have time to get all these gifts, and my parents are coming in, I have to clean the house, like things I don't want to do, and I'm like, oh, the magic's
buy
gone
gifts.
unless I have a child and look at it through their eyes. But anyway, I do still love forcing myself to celebrate and be joyful, and I'd say my favorite film of that is Love Actually.
Same.
Thank you.
Same.
No, that was my favorite just movie, blanket
I didn't
movie.
realize that was a Christmas movie until people started being like, it's time for it. It's time for Love Actually.
So you
It's the
liked it and
season."
then hated it?
I know. I love the movie.
Uh-huh.
I completely ignored, it's weird, all of the Christmas aspect of it and was like, this is a great film.
Well, that's great.
Well, it
That's
is a
what
romantic
takes.
comedy
Yeah.
dramedy.
Of course, at its
But
core.
yeah.
Someone in the chat says Home Alone.
I agree with
Definitely.
Home
Home Alone's
Alone.
my number two,
Definitely.
actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
agree
really
with Home
is. I
Alone.
love Home
Yeah,
Alone.
I'm also a big fan of the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Frosty the Snowman
Yes,
claymation
love those.
cartoon.
Okay,
Love
well,
that Rudolph one.
I wanted to talk about Rudolph because I was trying, when it was Halloween, we did like homoerotic horror films. And I was trying to think, is there any gay
there-
rep in Christmas? And there is not.
I was gonna say,
There's really not.
did you find some homoerotic Christmas
No,
films?
I sure didn't. Or not even like gay characters.
Well, you
but
haven't spent enough time around a church choir if you don't
That's
think there's
true.
enough gay at Christmas.
There's I mean, what could be gayer than Christmas, really, anyway?
I really.
But Rudolph, there was a thing in Vulture that I only got to briefly read, but saying that that's like one of the gayest movies of all time. They're basically saying Rudy's it's like an allegory. He's gay and his family shuns him, and he has to wear the black veil over
Yep.
his nose.
Yep.
Then he runs out onto his own and meets a elf with like red lips and like just looking fabulous.
You mean Hermie
Is that
that wants to be a dentist and
Yes,
doesn't want to be an elf
exactly.
who's definitely a homosexual?
Yeah, without question.
Yes.
Right. I'm glad, thank God, I'm glad you know.
I gotta see this movie.
See, I haven't seen it forever too, but I was reading and I was like, all right, it's low-key representation.
Why am I such a misfit? Literally,
Oh God, I love
literally,
that.
it is about the
That's
outsider's
that's an
perspective on
LGBT
Christmas.
anthem, actually.
There's a bullying scene where he can't participate in the reindeer games.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you know I like to bring up things and then I'm like, by the way, I don't know anything about this, so thank
We
you
got
for
you.
knowing
We
the
got
movie.
you. We got you.
And it's one of your favorites.
It is. It's I associated with my mom. My mom's a big fan of Rudolph and Frosty. So
And those, like the claymation ones? Yeah.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
those are like nostalgic old school. Which is
very old
good.
school. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you ever notice the gay undertones?
No, I always just saw it for what it was. He was just different with his
Different.
red nose.
That's it.
But I never thought like, oh, I relate to Rudolph because I'm different with my red nose.
Yeah. Well,
I never did that.
it just.
Well,
But now that you
nice
think
for
about it, it makes sense.
Yes, but did you guys know there was actually a deleted entire storyline from Love Actually that was a gay, in fact,
Lesbian couple. Yes, it's beautiful.
What?
It is a beautiful story.
It's beautiful. I didn't know about it till last year, and I had
I've
to write
seen all
about
the
it.
I've seen all of the scenes.
I
and
was in
it's
Starbucks
gorgeous.
writing and crying because one of them's dying. It was
Yes,
the principal of the
principal
school.
of the school, the headmistress of the
Yes,
school.
was she the one that was sick or her?
It was her wife.
Guys, give me a chill just thinking about it.
Yeah, me too.
Look it up.
Oh,
Look it up.
it is. Yeah,
Gosh.
you can watch it. One of the re-releases of the DVD has this, so you can find it, and you can find it online.
Totally,
It's
yeah,
beautiful.
you
They
can
have
find
all the scenes edited together, so it's just like a little short film of these two women,
It's
and how it
very-
relates, and it's heartbreaking and beautiful.
That's my new storyline
Well,
for now.
Truly.
I wonder why they took it out then.
There was
Length.
it wasn't a gay thing. Luckily,
it wasn't.
Yeah, so they were the least connected. I'm sure it was easy to take that out as well. But I do wish we had like a director's cut with it all in, because I
could definitely watch the 4.5 hour unedited.
Easily. Bathroom breaks, it's fine.
Oh my God, it's originally 4.5 hours.
I mean, I'm just assuming.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, the last like movie that I saw like that, I think, was Titanic, which was like 3 hours, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a little over
Guys,
3.
Yeah.
I can't sit through a movie. If I go, it's fine, because I'm like, I'm here. Let's just focus. But if I'm at home, I'm like, blah, snacks, bathroom, I can't do it.
Snacks, bathroom, blah. I just now imagine Adam in his house just going, snacks, bathroom, blah.
I'll tell you what, if you imagine that, you pretty much know exactly what's going on in my home at all times. Neurotically freaking out over what snack do I eat? Should I go to the bathroom? It's my commercial.
I don't know.
That sums it up. Cool.
I just like that there's vibrato involved. That's really the exciting part for me.
Well, that's the gay way.
Yeah, exactly. Hello, Adam myself. What are your okay? I know you said you like Love Actually, but for being a non-holiday person, are there any that you do like that you knew were holiday movies going in?
Yes. So I really liked the Santa Claus series with Tim Allen.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Elf is, of course.
Oh, I love Elf.
Is it
Yeah,
good?
that's really cute.
I think,
Hey, everyone, it's Santa! Santa!
I know him.
Yeah.
I like most of the movies, and then they get to the end where everyone's like happy. And they have this warmth. Oh, Nightmare Before Christmas, good one.
Oh,
That is a good one. That should be a good one for you.
Because it's a Halloween movie.
Yeah, he ruins Christmas. So there you go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was at a restaurant and they had tip jars, and it was Grinch or Jack, and I was like,
You're getting double
I don't
tip.
know. I don't know what to do.
They made all the right choices for you.
That's great.
What Love Actually for you?
Love Actually is my new number one, but before that was White Christmas.
Yeah.
Because
What is that?
Classic.
again,
is this?
it's really just about a bunch of frustrated performers
Yeah.
who get a good gig that turns out to be a bad gig, and they turn basically chicken poop into chicken salad. And so it's really
that's
just about a bunch of gypsy performers. Like, it has nothing to do with
Right.
Christmas till the last 10 minutes.
Oh, really? See, I barely remember it. I haven't seen it since very little.
No, and all the
haven't seen
music,
it.
it's just a great Irving Berlin score of like phenomenal standards.
Yeah. Yeah, which they came from that movie, right?
Yeah, and White Christmas, the song was actually written for Holiday Inn, the film that came out a few years before. But yeah, they sing it at the beginning and at the end, and that's really it. But it's really this interesting, like, sort of post-war vaudeville story. It's just all about show business people, and so I love it. I always related to it.
I love Yael. You might get into that. Oh no, apparently stank face.
Oh,
Not
cool.
into that. Even a
Maybe.
Not
little bit
having
of
it.
Christmas involved.
First,
But there's
she's
that
got to get into
one-
Christmas.
Yeah, there's the one that everyone loves where he runs. It's like black and white, and the bells.
I know
Christmas
what you mean.
Carol?
No,
No.
when he's the angel.
Oh, It's a Wonderful
Yeah, yeah,
Life.
yeah.
Not a fan.
I have never seen the whole thing. I've seen
I've
the
never
end
seen
of it
it.
I've
so
never-
many
yeah,
times
I've-
because I'm trying to watch whatever's on after.
Every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings.
Didn't know
that's
that was
good.
from there. Did
Well.
not know.
Zuzu's pedals. I can't. I like
the best
I can't
voiceover
with,
work
I
today.
can't with Jimmy Stewart and Mr. Potter. I one ears. I just can't.
you're
It's
killing
just
me.
it's awful.
It's amazing.
And people love it, but it was a huge flop when it came out.
It was?
It did not become a classic or a Christmas tradition until they started airing it on TV in the '60s.
That's
Well,
so
I think
weird when
late
that
50s
happens.
and
I feel like.
'60s.
Yeah.
I think that happened to that other one with the lamp and the
Christmas
lake.
Story.
Christmas
That
Story.
one.
Another
My
one that
friend-
I don't like.
My friend was like, you have to see this. It's not really about Christmas. It just happens to take place then. You have to see it. I sat through it because I don't know what channel. Some channel airs it 24
like
hours.
24 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do.
On Christmas.
TNT or TBS.
Yeah.
I think it's TNT.
So I was like, great, I'll record one of these. And I watched it and I went, this is so boring.
Yes,
It is the most
I agree.
boring movie
I
ever.
agree.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever watched it all the way through. I see it in bits and pieces.
Because it is on 24 hours. We would turn on and be like, okay,
Yeah.
now is this scene?
I just remember ho ho ho,
pushing him
and
down.
then he gets pushed down the
Totally.
slide.
Yeah, now that you mention it, I don't think I like it that much either. But that's okay. I have my favorites, and I've watched none of them this year. Guys, we got a Christmas tree last night, and I was like, I'm ready for January. Like, that's the oldness onto me now. Like, now it's my responsibility to do the thing, so it's not as fun.
I just put my Christmas tree up.
And how'd it feel?
It felt fine. Like, I had Christmas music playing and everything like that.
See, that's what I like to do. We were like, let's do the lights quick, and like we weren't speaking, and then it was fun.
But it was it was just me. My roommates were no help. Although one of my roommates did clean the bathroom while I
that's
put
helpful.
I
a little bit.
made my roommate promise when we moved in together that there would be no tree. I was
Wow.
like, we need to talk about the fact that we're not doing it. That's not a thing that's going to be in my house.
We couldn't be roommates.
See, that is the difference between like, oh, Christmas is sad or whatever. Being like, that's like, you hate Christmas. I don't want to see the tree. I don't want to see
I've never had a tree in my house. I'm not about to start now.
Why don't you
What about a
try
palm
something
tree?
new? I think it will lighten your spirit. Because right now you seem a little dark. You seem a little dark inside.
Grinch-esque.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When I was house sitting for friends, they left for Christmas, and I had to feed their cats, and didn't. They were like, "Oh, can you also water the tree?" Did not realize that was a thing. That you have to put water in the tree.
Oh,
Yeah.
sometimes like if they're a real tree, yeah. Or you can get an artificial tree
Yeah,
that's
but
already
who
pre-lit,
would
like
get-
I did from
I
Target.
also didn't know how expensive those trees are. I'm sorry, you
Guys.
spent so much money on a real tree that you have to water that's going to make a mess in your house, and then you have to throw it out. This sounds like a really big hassle.
I've never felt that way till last, like, for the first time ever, I'll be like, it kind of is. It really was.
Well-
but it's fun, and it's tradition.
See, that's why I just like my artificial tree. I just pull it out of the box, connect the little
Yeah, I
lights
should do
together, put some
Get yourself
decor
a pine
on.
candle, and then you're fine.
And I'm good. Put my star on top. And I put my one package, which is my one Christmas gift that my mom sent me. It also has my birthday gift in it because my birthday's shortly after. And I put it under the tree, and I'm gonna open it.
I love that. See, you have a very, like, what's the word? Not
There's so
young,
many.
like just a young spirit. It's not innocence, but it's like I don't know, something in a good way. In a good way. Who would want you to? But yet something like that about you, which I love.
A purity, if you will.
Thank you.
I like that. Well, because on Christmas, like I'm gonna be at home by myself because my roommates are going back home for Christmas. So like I kind of have a plan of like waking up and maybe making myself breakfast and then opening my one gift and
See, that's sweet.
you know, it'd be nice. Well,
love
it
that.
was better than like. Not last Christmas, but 2 Christmases ago, I got my wisdom tooth pulled.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
so I was like wrapped.
You were
and,
unwrapping your own self as a gift.
and like eating mashed potatoes.
yeah.
Well,
But we're good though
Yeah, I was
because they
gonna
were
say,
from
that's good.
KFC. So
Oh,
KFC
yeah.
mashed
So they were
potatoes
real
are
nice
really
and
good.
whipped.
Yeah.
so even then
Yeah.
you're taking care of yourself.
Yes. Well, speaking of gifts,
You have one for us?
me.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Ooh, the
Yeah.
gift
His
keeps on
presence
giving.
is the present.
Trust me, you want to unwrap this.
Hence, not innocent. Okay.
Yes. So what's the best gift you received, and what's the best gift you've given?
That's really hard.
I'll start.
Yeah, please.
So, okay, so when I had a 9-to-5 job, we used to do Secret Santa, and I loved Secret Santa because it was your chance to like learn something about someone just based on like the things that they liked, and really put a creative gift together. So, one of my coworkers that I got, her name is Layla. Hello, Layla, and she loved Paris. And so I was like, okay, how can I do this? And I was like, okay, I got it. So I was like, I'm giving you a day in Paris. And so each little gift represented something with that. So I was like, you have to look the part. So I got her like a beret and a scarf. And then I said, well, of course you have to like, you know, like eat like they do in Paris. And so I found like a French cafe in LA, and I gave her a gift card to that so that way she could sit and like with her beret and stuff and eat there.
Have the experience. That's so sweet.
I then also, so that she could really feel like she was there and not in LA, I got her a book of like Paris, like a picture book of Paris. And then I said, of course, after a trip, you do have little souvenirs. So I had like little Eiffel Towers and stuff to give her as well. So it's like
really so thoughtful.
great.
It was like a day in Paris.
You were
I
like
love
the
that.
good get for
Yeah.
Secret Santa. Like
Yeah.
everybody wanted you.
Oh yeah, everyone liked when I got me. And then my a gift that I got was when I was really young, and I mean everyone's trying to get them now, but like I had the original Nintendo
Oh, sure.
with the power pad. Thank you very much. And I remember opening it, and I was super excited. And I also had but my family had this tradition where like we opened a gift for Christmas Eve. We got to open one, and so I opened up like this stack of games for Nintendo, and I was like, yes. And like ever since then, like my mom didn't put like the good gifts out until Christmas, so that I wouldn't make that mistake again.
Lesson.
Yeah, so that's my Christmas.
I love that. I don't have one particularly that I can think of, but I was thinking about when you're talking about believing in Santa. They got me a little longer by, I guess I was teetering on the edge of not believing. And one year there was a gift unwrapped just like sitting by the fireplace, and they were like, oh, that fell out of Santa's bag, and oh, you got me for another $365. It's like that works. So if you're looking to lie to your children, that's an option.
You know what, my parents pulled that on me too. Like I got a gift for when I was young, a friend of mine. Well, let's be honest, I liked the boy, and so like, so I got him a gift, and I told Santa to deliver it to him, and I think like when I woke up that morning, I noticed that it was gone, but then my parents like went out into the hallway of our apartment and was like, oh no, Santa dropped it. And I was like, oh no.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
Did the boy
so
ever
cute.
get the gift?
He did. I gave it to him.
Okay, good.
But whatever. That was such an awful boy.
Well,
we
first
stopped being
crushes
friends.
always are, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, there were so many after that. So many.
The floodgates had opened.
Yes.
Do you guys have any?
No.
Oh, no, certainly not you.
No.
Well, not a Christmas gift. Have you received a gift? You know what? I'm gonna ask Santa to bring you the gift of light and love
Oh,
this holiday season.
He so when I was in
And
high
a
school,
lesbian.
that'd be nice. When I was in high school, I would go to the mall and yell at the mall Santas.
oh.
I would go and I would stand like they'd be down in the lower level, and I'd stand above and watch as kids sat on their laps, which is creepy. And I would shout, "You skip me every year! How could you?"
Oh.
Wow.
Stark.
So
You were
you've been
that
this
kid.
gal with green fur
Yeah.
covering you since a young age.
Yes, I mean it was funny because the kids were like, "What?
Yeah.
You could be skipped," which is
Yeah,
great.
you made them fear every Christmas Eve, of
Yeah.
course.
The story that I was going to cover today was literally I read this pastor in Texas was at a shopping mall screaming at children that were in line to meet Santa, saying, "Your parents are lying to you. Your parents are lying." You're literally that pastor.
No, I would never tell these kids that Santa's not real, because that, like, I hear that that's a traumatic thing.
I've
and
heard.
I would not want to be responsible for
It
that.
is.
But I thought I was helping, because first of all, it let me get my anger out. And second of all,
There you go.
It told them that the options are not, a gift or coal. It's he
Nothing
might
at all.
not just show up.
You kept the magic alive just
Yeah.
with a touch of fear as
Yeah.
a
A
little
possibility.
realism.
Who needs the elf when you have me?
The Yael on the shelf.
Oh, boy.
But
That is so funny.
gift-wise, so when I first moved to LA, I came down with everything that could fit into my car. So no furniture. And I slept on not really a futon, but something similar for 4 months. And so I asked my parents for a bed.
That's good.
That's the best.
So that, and I was like, not just like a mattress and a box spring, like I want a frame.
Oh, the dream.
Yeah, so that was it. But because I don't celebrate gift-giving holidays, I also don't give gifts.
Which, no, that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, giving is the best part. I get it, but it's also a little stressful.
It's real.
Yeah,
I
it's
hear
stressful.
everyone talks about how stressful it is finding the right gifts, and they don't know, and they keep forgetting people, and then they have to buy more, and there's last-minute gifts. But also, like, who's got money for that?
Well, see,
I don't.
when I did go Christmas shopping, I had a rule that I did family, which was like my mom, my dad, my sister, my godmother and godfather, and then I would do a select few of friends, and that was it.
Yeah, my friends got snipped out as time went on because I was like, it's just too much.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. Well, that's why I was a huge fan. A group of friends of mine and I, we used to do Secret Santa. So that was a whole lot
works
better.
great.
Yeah.
Do you have one?
Best gift? Just like most meaningful gift. I was a huge when I was a kid. I was a huge Star Wars collector.
Yeah.
And like all the action figures, all the stuff. And there was this one figure when they were doing the like big 12-inch ones. No one could find it. It was sold out everywhere. Even those like rip-off resale collector stores couldn't find it. It was the Imperial Guard from Return of the Jedi. You couldn't find it anywhere. My dad waited outside a Toys R Us until midnight, like 2 weeks before Christmas, for their last shipment to come in, and literally waited for them to unload these Imperial Guards out of the box, and he bought 4 of them because they were like he had seen that at the collector stores they were sold out and they were selling them for like $100, and he was like, well, they were $6.95 and
That's
I just got them all.
That's great.
So I had a fleet of Imperial Guards
you
waiting
got them
for
all
me.
even. I thought
No, he gave them all to me. No,
That
he
is
didn't even
so
hoard them or
cute.
resell them. No, there was a fleet of Imperial Guards waiting for me Christmas
Wow.
Now,
morning.
were you young? You appreciated the gift, of course, because it was a toy and you were young. But did you get it more when you grew up, or like even then you were like?
Well,
wow,
yeah.
you
Well,
were-
I was like, "How did you get these?" Because like,
You knew- you
I
knew,
knew
yeah.
that they were. You couldn't get them, and they were like so limited. And he told me, I was like, "Well, I knew when that truck was coming." I was like,
That's
oh my
amazing.
God.
You got the tip. Guys, there's a lot more LGBT rep in holiday commercials these days.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's
But
true.
now this is going to be crazy to you, but some people aren't happy about it.
Really?
Now,
I never dreamed.
I'm going to do my best to not roll my eyes back into my head when I tell you
Already
this
did.
story because it's so ridiculous. Okay, Microsoft did a very cool Christmas commercial that I think you would even like because it's really nothing about Christmas. It's saying like, it's just like this is a time to bring people together, unity, love. Jazz Jennings.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I am of I am Jazz.
Exactly. She's a young trans girl reality star, has her own show.
She was a YouTuber first.
Was she?
Yeah, that's how she got the show.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
how you get them these days.
Yep.
And there's a girl named, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but Zia Bowling. She was 7 years old and she went viral this year for being just silently holding a rainbow flag in front of one of those preachers, like giving hate speech. So those kind of people popped up. There were a lot of activists in it. And the guy who is the president of the Catholic League didn't like it.
I am shocked.
Right. But here's what, first of all, one of the slogans in the commercial is, when the world seems divided, coming together can be a beautiful thing. And can you imagine stepping in and being like, well, no, I want to divide it.
yeah.
But here's what he says. He thinks, first of all, that the left, is exploiting Christmas to push the LGBT agenda.
They always
That
think
agenda.
that.
No, I know that
That agenda of ours.
And exploiting Christmas, yes, suddenly Christmas is being exploited by us. It's not become a commercial thing.
Right.
But here's what he had to say.
Black Friday doesn't start on Thanksgiving.
Right, exactly. He says, if the bicoastal elites at Microsoft really believe in diversity, let them have their LGBT celebration in June during Gay Pride Month and leave December to Christians. So,
Oh, okay.
I mean, there's about 350,000 things to pinpoint in there, but he's claiming all of December for Christians
For
only.
Christians.
Okay.
Yeah, so Hanukkah's
then-
out.
Well,
Well, sometimes it's not in December, so fair.
Great. A point for him.
oh my God. He sounds like, okay, so let's pull out the calendars, okay? There's 12 months, so we're going to give the Christians December.
Right.
Wait, when
We're
did
going to
the
give
Jews
the
get?
gays June. We're going to give the African Americans February because it's the shortest month.
No, wait. Yeah, you're
That's
making a
true.
joke, but that's surely he's probably being like, well, yeah, that's exactly what I mean.
Probably
But
his
the
flawed
arrogance
logic.
So
to
ridiculous.
think that it belongs to him. Now, listen, Christmas at its core is supposed to be a religious holiday. That's just if that's how you celebrate
birth
it,
of
celebrate
Jesus.
it that way.
Yeah.
That's great and
And
fine.
that's fine.
But just the whole thing is so crazy to me. To just dare the audacity on a commercial that's saying, I know we're a divided country, let's come together, being like, no, stay out of here.
Yeah.
And as someone, I don't know, I grew up Catholic, and to me, it was very like, that's what I got out of it, is we're doing this because it's to be the best person you can be.
Yes.
I think that religion is, this is actually what I was going to say before and didn't, religion is sort of at its core like just trying to get people to be good people and have us not commit crimes and all that and have something to believe in. So why is the Christians, not all, but Christians who are the ones trying to divide and push the hate, I feel bad for. I have friends who are Christian who are not that way, and I feel bad for them, because to me, when I hear the word Christian, I do not have a good vibe come up into my mind.
Sometimes I feel like it's being able to hold on to something that you know is true. You know, I love my air quotes. And so I feel like some people, I don't want to just put Christians, but I just feel like some people feel comfort in having the Bible and like this is the way of life, and like, you can't steer away from that. And then you have those progressive people who recognize that like this is like a guideline, but the world is presented in a very different way than this book. And one of the key things is to love and respect everyone. I don't want to pretend like I know the Bible and try to quote it. Sure. But that's what like
that's the general
and that Jesus forgives. So I feel like there are people who need to hold on to that, like this is true, and if you're doing something wrong, I have proof that you're doing it wrong, versus people who are like, you know what, that's the way you live life. I'm not affected by it. It's not what I would do personally, but I'm going to respect whatever it is that you do.
That's what it comes down to for me, is respect. Because after the whole Trump thing, I really tried to put myself in the shoes of just the other side, because I think, listen, we kind of need to do this. They won. Let's figure out what needs to be done. And if you were a deeply religious person and you do think, as misguided as it seems to me, that other people living their lives is somehow an attack on your religious freedom, then that, you see that and whatever. But the commercial wasn't saying the opposite of what this guy's saying, being like, this is how Christmas is going to be now, like gay people running it. They were literally just being like, here's a bunch of people that are happy and let's come together and celebrate that happiness.
But I like the progression of commercials. I will admit that sometimes it shocks me sometimes. Like I saw a Chase commercial recently with an interracial couple, and for the first time I was like, oh, and I was like, oh, like, it's just how it's a great representation of how we are now.
Right.
And, once you're able to like just look at them and go, you know what, every couple needs a loan, or, every couple's, car breaks down and you have to go to State Farm, and, no matter who those two people are, you just respect the fact that now advertising are really reflecting how the world is now. And the world is now full of, gay people, straight people, people of different ethnicities, interracial couples. Like there's so much great wonderfulness happening, and people don't recognize that and embrace it.
You can pray as much as you want. You're not going to pray us away, so you might as well accept. You cannot believe in it, but we do exist.
Listen, I've been praying since I was 16 for a man to arrive on Christmas Day with nothing but a bow, and it has not happened yet.
Oh, well, don't give up the dream.
I don't.
Spirit,
I don't.
Well, try asking Jesus this year instead of Santa Claus.
Exactly.
I do. I asked both.
Jesus.
I asked Jesus.
covered all his
and I
bases.
asked Santa. I asked Jesus to ask Santa to bring it for Christmas.
Oh, there you go.
And
There
then,
you go.
because I give Jesus a month off for December. I feel like it's Santa's job.
Sure.
And
It's
then
his
for the
birthday
other
month.
11
But
months is
December,
Jesus.
we just discovered, is his month.
Yeah, so now it's been all backwards.
Yeah.
It's for Christians.
Well, I don't want to
only.
put all that pressure on him, and he's trying to celebrate his birthday.
That's all. That's all.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
I know you have some non-holiday things to discuss,
Yeah,
and
I
for
do.
you, my Christmas gift to you is letting you do that.
Thank you.
Lesbians?
I wish.
And not even.
I wish. No, I want to talk about. I'm gonna take the mood way down.
Good.
So on AfterBuzz TV, we have a sister show called LGBTQ&A. What a clever name.
Truly blows me away every time.
Yeah, with Jeff Masters, and he had Ashby Dodge, who is the clinical director of all procedures in terms of call safety and training of people for the Trevor Project.
Oh, nice.
So because it is the holidays, which is a very difficult time for a lot of people,
Right.
I want to make sure we talk a little bit about the Trevor Project, which is the only national hotline for LGBT youth in crisis.
Yeah.
I didn't realize they were the only hotline.
I actually didn't either. I just thought it was the one we knew of.
Right. I know that like you can Google hotline and lots of hotlines come up, but I didn't realize they're the only one
Wow.
For LGBTQ?
for LGBT
specifically
youth in
for-
crisis.
Yeah.
And
Just youth? What about grown folks?
I think if you're grown, you can call.
Oh, good.
But
'Cause
I think they
sometimes we
might.
need it too.
I think they might refer you to another place.
Sure.
And so the Trevor Project, I forgot about this. It was created after filmmakers made an Oscar-winning short film called Trevor, and the reaction that the fans had to this, and that youth in crisis had to this, they started the Trevor Project. I completely forgot that there was a movie that started it.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Right.
And studies have shown that one supportive person reaching out to a kid can reduce their risk of suicide by 30%. So,
And that's just reaching
yeah,
out.
it's reaching out. So,
Yeah, these people literally save lives every single day,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the process that the hotline counselors have to go through is unbelievably strict
Yeah.
and strenuous. So you are literally getting the best possible
Truly, yeah.
care.
Oh, I definitely.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
they had their largest numbers of calls ever, I believe, the day after the election,
Yeah.
which is a terrifying thought.
Yeah.
And also, they have said that 41% of trans people will try to kill themselves in their life, which is another terrifying thought.
Yeah, and that again, those numbers went up after the election,
Yeah.
and that's like, no, it's Trump sort of ran with that type of campaign, and so that's why people felt so vulnerable, obviously afterwards. But I have heard that a lot, and obviously, especially so many of them are probably coming from homes that are Trump supporters. So definitely now more than ever, it's so important to have that.
So I wanted to make sure that this holiday season, if you feel super lonely, some of us do, you have people to talk to. I will be on Twitter all December 25th because I have nothing to do. So I will be
Dr.
reaching
Who,
out.
though.
Yeah, well, yeah, obviously. But I will absolutely be there if anyone needs just somebody to chat to. I'm going to put that out there. And check out
nice of
the
you.
interview with Ashby Dodge on LGBTQ&A with Jeff Masters.
I feel like, there are times throughout the year where people do feel, very lonely and things like that. And I do think that it's very important to, if you do feel like that, if you are a youth or just anyone that feels, your family has just kind of pushed you to the side because you are gay or trans, that you do surround yourself with friends and people that you can consider family that love and accept you. One day, I hope that we will become a society that can accept people for who they are and realize that, being gay or being trans is not a choice. I actually had this discussion with my roommate one time, and he basically said, well, being gay is a choice. And so I asked him, I said, well, when did you choose to be straight? And there was dead silence. And he had to think about it. And I was like, exactly. Like, it's not a choice. And many of my friends and I have discussed this very topic. And I think we all said, if this were a choice, like, would we choose to be like judged and discriminated against and and all the hardships that come with being gay, would we choose that? And unfortunately we didn't choose it. It's just who we are, and we've learned to embrace who we are. So I encourage those to embrace who they are and first love yourself, because then others can love you as well.
That's
and
it.
surround yourself with great people.
And when they say it gets better, to me, that always for me it was, and I mean, I was very blessed to have a supportive family, but to move to LA, a big city, meet gay people that I could relate to, not just like the caricatures that were on TV when I was growing up of a gay person, that was instantly when I started to become more comfortable. And then I built a family of friends around that, like we talked about. So I get you can't just necessarily pack up and go, but do understand that you do have options and you can figure it out.
Yeah.
And if you're a LGBTQ person who is not in crisis and happens to have some means at the holidays, and perhaps you're traveling back to your home where you're going to a family that is not particularly inclusive,
Right.
supportive, accepting, here's an idea. Make a donation on their behalf to the Trevor Project.
Yeah.
Truly.
Because I guarantee you, if you look your family member in the eye and say, I made a donation in your name for this whatever holiday you're celebrating, and it's going to prevent teen suicide. I challenge them to challenge you.
It's a conversation starter.
And
Right?
And if they do, consider it your last Christmas.
Yeah,
Just like
you might-
consider
you
not
might-
coming back, because that's scary.
I think to remember, like, you know, you're hanging with these people and you're stuck with them for a day or two or however long you're stuck with them. I don't know how long this holiday is. Because
We just do one.
Yeah,
Well,
but
no,
like
it's 12 days, and
What
you're right,
is
you're
it?
right.
Christmas
I
can
don't-
last
month, yeah.
a
Girl,
month.
I don't
this
know.
isn't free form. We're not trying to do 12 days of Christmas.
So they do 25,
Yeah.
but anyway.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah, it's already, you've already missed a
But,
bunch.
I've already missed it.
What I wanted to say was, like, you can just make it through that day or two, and then, you know, you're free to breathe again.
Yep, exactly that
If you really want to get through this day and be shady,
Oh, okay.
So many options we're throwing your way.
let me give you the perfect shade. It's just one line.
Oh.
If someone is, you know, yapping about, oh my God, how could you ever choose to be gay and blah blah blah, gay is this and that, it's horrible, blah blah blah, you look that person straight in the eye and say, stay blessed.
Yes. Oh, I just got a whole Christmas tree of shade.
Yes.
That was like I was sitting underneath the tree.
Yeah, and you do it with a smile. You just go, oh, wait, here, come here. Give me your hand. You just go, stay blessed.
Oh, I love
Stay
I
blessed.
love that. And then I'm sure you have tea in your other hand. You
Oh,
just
yeah,
sitting there
yeah.
right off the block.
Please pass the mashed potatoes, please, thank you.
Well, with that amazing advice,
Stay blessed.
we bid
Stay
you
blessed,
adieu.
everyone.
To stay blessed this holiday season. I'm Adam Salandra. You can find me at Adam Salandra.
And of course, you guys can find me on all social media platforms at Lounging with Tony or my website, loungingwithtony.com. And I wish you all a very happy holidays.
I'm Yael Tygiel, and I am available all Xmas Day and Eve on Twitter at Yael Tygiel, YAELTYGIEL.
And I'm Blake McIver, and you can find me everywhere at Blake McIver. Check out my Facebook page, Blake McIver Official, for my weekly web show, Sip and Sing. We just did a
Yes, I
holiday
was gonna say,
special
need that holiday
yesterday.
one.
It's still up there. You can check it out.
I won't watch
Love it, guys. Have a happy holidays. Happy New Year. We'll see you in 2017.
Yay!
Things will get better, we hope. Goodbye, y'all.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.